we did see some sector rotation out of some of these hardware stocks and into some other things. So like we saw Costco rallying, we saw some of the healthcare products rallying, and that's I think a healthy sign of the general market being okay, at least right now, where instead of people moving to cash and everything's just selling off aggressively, we're seeing a rotation out of these products but into other products in the market. So the Dow finished higher last week while the NASDAQ was still down. So I think that's going to be probably the name of the game here. And still, like, you have products like Microsoft. Michael Burry came out and said he was a bull in Microsoft, and that was likely the reason for this big reversal here. But still, from 460, when I thought this thing was just going to go right back to 550, from 460 all the way down to 350. Our buddy Glenn was not too happy because I was like, yeah, Microsoft's a bullish trade that I have on. And, he wants another 5 days of 20 point moves naturally. But this thing only had 2-3 green bars, like barely, in a 3-week period, and it was down 100 points. So we were putting on some positions in Microsoft, and I think you'll see the same thing. Like you'll probably see a rotation out of hardware and into software, especially in names like Microsoft that are Mag 7 stocks. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. And if you think the E-minis and NASDAQ are going to continue higher to all-time highs, it's likely from a rotation out of these products that have gone nuts into products that haven't participated as much. That's how you kind of get that general drift higher, as opposed to the straight up rocket ship we saw from the war lows.
100%. And I mean, the point that you make, I didn't realize Michael Burry was stepping into Microsoft here, but it looks like the last day that Microsoft was traded, it had one of the highest, very obviously one of the highest volume traded days that it had seen in the last months, and maybe even over the last 365 days, actually, Mike, with Microsoft trading at about 185 million shares. I believe that was last Friday, which is, I mean, drastically higher than any other trading day over the last 365 days. So I don't know, maybe that had a little bit more, I guess, oomph whenever Michael Burry's getting involved there, but definitely very active stock, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure. And I think speaking to that, I know we would love to throw on a trade idea here. I think for me, if I believe that the market's kind of just going to chop around, we're not going to see too much movement. And even if we do, I'm going to make sure I'm defined risk here. But I think the sector rotation will lend a more neutral, balanced trading range in the E-minis versus the NASDAQ, because the NASDAQ is so volatile because it's pushing and pulling in the same direction, because it's all, it's all the sector or the semiconductor names, and then it's AI, and then it's software. So it's like pushing and pulling a lot, where the E-minis at least has more sector diversity. So if we continue to see that, where Micron's down but healthcare's up, and these other tech stocks that are in the S&P 500 kind of balancing out with rotation, I kind of think getting into an iron condor for the 4-day cycle, where on Monday or Tuesday, if we kind of have this chop before the jobs report on Thursday, that could be a situation where you get a big crush in implied volatility and the premium here in these 4-day options. So
maybe we take advantage of, I know I'll be taking advantage of getting on a little bit of long delta here. I'll check out some of the premiums, especially as we head into the next few weeks. I'm glad, like, Microsoft is one of those trades that I didn't catch early on. So it is one of those that looks a little bit more attractive to get on long delta after all of the aftermath, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm going to do this. This is basically what I do in SPX. I'll just sell an iron condor for $200, risking $300. But I'm going to do this in the 4-day just to kind of put my money where my mouth is in terms of the sector rotation. Maybe we see a balanced range in the E-minis, at least through like Monday and Tuesday, because this is a 4-day cycle. This $200 could contract to $100 pretty quickly if we are chopping around this level here on Monday and we don't really change or move too much. So I'm going to put this on.
I really like that. I really like that, actually. Given the extended trading hours that the futures market offers, what would you say is your preference or that you like a little bit better rather than using something like SPY and using the strangle for that? Is it just to be able to be involved in the market and be able to take advantage of that with the flexibility that the futures gives you?
Yeah, yeah. Futures. I think when you're trading the E-minis and NASDAQ directly, I think you have a lot of flexibility with the futures products because they have nice trading hours, they're super liquid, and you don't have to deal with the gap risk. I think that's one of the hardest things to deal with as an options trader in the equity space, just because you'll have these moves where, like, I guarantee you Micron tomorrow morning will probably be chopping around, up or down 40 points from where it closed. So,
Right.
and that's just the nature of the beast. So until we get extended hours for Micron, I think it's harder to manage positions, because if you have a short put that's right at the money, for example, or a short put spread, you don't have the ability to manipulate it and move it around, where in the E-minis you do, because you can set alerts 20 points out of the money from where your spread is, your short option is. You can get hit with the alert, and then you can manage the position. So I really think the futures do offer that. You also have different tax treatment if you are trading futures, and different leverage too. You have span margin.
Yeah.
So I like the futures products a lot, but they're kind of simple in the sense of it's harder to articulate and express an opinion in a really defined way, or a really tuned way, just because it's a sector, it's not a sector, it's a futures product that has a ton of different products within it. So
100%.
there's a give and take there for sure.